Welcome to this month's PSA with Chief Burghardt. Welcome back, Chief.
Thanks for having me.
This PSA is being recorded in the month of May of 2025. The Hartford Fire Department used some of the grant monies from the county that was awarded to them to implement a great safety cloud system. And the acronym is HAAS, and I'd like to let our viewers know how crucial this has been and beneficial.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. So again, Washington County did give out some funds both last year and this year for fire and EMS for whatever extra implementation that was needed. So here in Hartford, we used part of that to implement the Haas Safety Cloud system. And what that does in our 3 ambulances is provides a digital alert to drivers that either they are approaching an emergency scene or there's an emergency vehicle approaching them and that they should pull over and move over.
Okay, and when anyone is yielding to an emergency vehicle, how should they yield to that vehicle?
So the first answer is always to slow down, right? Slowing your speed gives you better reaction time. So if there's someone approaching from behind, slow down, move over to the right and allow them to pass. If they are approaching an emergency scene, it's slowing down and moving over the opposite way, moving to the left, so allow some safe space where the emergency responders are on the side of the road.
So with the Safety Cloud alert system, most vehicles will have this either come up on their GPS or on their phone, alerting them to there's going to be some type of traffic, whether it's construction or emergency vehicles, again, either coming up 30 seconds before, or if they're coming up behind them and to get ready to yield to the right. This system is again called Safety Cloud. So I'm making the assumption that this is run through the internet, or is this how is that working? Because there's some counties that we have problems even getting some type of reception.
Yeah, good question. So it is all run off of cellular data. So our ambulances have devices called Cradle Points in them. It's like a portable Wi-Fi router.
Okay.
And it's used so that we have Wi-Fi access for our equipment inside of the ambulance. And on a flip side, it also emits a signal back out that the Safety Cloud system is utilizing. So for any motorist to receive this alert, they would have to have data. So it'll have to be somewhere where you're getting at least 3G or 4G signal that you can receive data. So typically anywhere where you can use navigation, either on your phone or in your car, you're going to be able to receive that alert system. So it's going through the cloud, just like all of the data goes. It's not direct, it's wireless. Same kind of way, if you're in a spot that you can get data, that you can send or receive a text message, be on the internet, or receive mapping, that's where you can get these alerts.
Is there any safety concerns about privacy of someone's information?
Not that I'm aware of. They've done a lot of research over the last 10 years to get this fine-tuned, and it's also gaining speed. So not only is it working with Waze mapping and with Apple Maps, but they're working on partnering with all of the Android options like Google Maps as well. There's a slew of all of the Jeep and Dodge and Chrysler. They're working on bringing on other manufacturers as well. So as this gains speed, I don't believe there's any issues in that realm of things.
So currently you have it in all 3 of the Hartford Fire and Rescue ambulances, and I think you also have it in an engine.
Correct. Yeah.
And that came built.
Yes, yeah. So the engine came from Pierce, it's manufactured here in Appleton, Wisconsin, and Pierce understands how important safety is to all the first responders that are using their equipment. So what they did is they actually offered that up with several years of service. So that was working out of the factory day one when it was driven home. The ambulances, we outfit them to have that option available for this year so that it's another safety option that our responders have. And just important for motorists to know it's for their safety as well. So what typically will happen as they're going down the road, if you're listening to music, whether it be AM or FM radio, or you're streaming something, or Bluetooth, it'll turn down the volume in your car, and it'll let you be notified by an alert sound. And there'll be a pop-up on your screen if your car's capable of having it, or if you're driving, navigating using your phone, it will pop up and take over your screen and say that there's an emergency scene ahead, or there's an emergency vehicle approaching, there's almost nothing you have to do. Just be aware that you are approaching an emergency scene or there's a vehicle approaching you, and to take the necessary efforts. And why that's important for the motorists is that every year in the United States, there's more than 50 first responders that are killed every year. Many, many more that are struck and injured who do survive, but that many die every year from being struck by passing motorists. So not only is it safe for our members, safer for our members to have these safer work zones, but the motorists get a heads up that they don't have to wait to see emergency lights, right? They don't have to wait to see flashing lights, that they can get this notification, oh, I should start slowing down. And by the time they've slowed down, then you see the flashing lights.
So I've seen a lot of people texting and driving, whether they're in a semi vehicle or a motorcycle. Will that interrupt that texting that they're doing?
So my understanding is that anytime they're running navigation, so if you have the mapping software open,
Okay.
you're using it to navigate, that's when that pop-up is coming through.
Okay, yeah, that to me is the frustrating part of the fire and emergency services, is the people that are still texting and driving, so it's like.
100%, right? That's the biggest risk, whether it's distractive, inattentive driving. No one should really be conducting any kind of transportation in that method, right? It should be all eyes on the road, paying attention, especially for us, right? Knowing that the roadway is not a safe place to operate because there are so many people operating in different ways and forms, not always doing so appropriately. So need to be paying attention as much as possible, especially with Wisconsin's move over law, that you can't be operating on your phone, right? It needs to be hands-free when you're in a construction work zone, when you're working in an emergency zone, and this software is gonna help us notify people that, hey, there's something going on.
So with this software, are there yearly upgrades to the system, and then you're buying into that subscription?
Yeah. So it is an annual subscription. So there is a cost to it annually for each device that we have, for each apparatus that we have. And the updates that they are performing, they meaning the Haas Safety Cloud, they are more than annually. Sometimes they're weekly, sometimes they're monthly. They're always refining it, adapting it to the newest vehicles, trying to get the best equipment out there to make it as simple as possible for the end user, that it's absolutely no input needed, that it automatically happens. So yes, there's always refinements and updates that are occurring.
Okay, well, this is very exciting news for our department and keeping everybody safe.
Yes, absolutely. Public safety is our #1 concern.
Well, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And to our viewers, as always, thank you for watching. Fantastic.
Cool.
So this